What is going down, you guys? It is your buddy Bearded Retro 84 coming at ya. Sorry that I'm talking kind of soft, but all my family's in bed, and I really don't want to wake them up. But I wanted to do this video real quick while it's still fresh in my mind, and I want to give you my reactions of the 2018 Royal Rumble. Now the Royal Rumble, it's like my favorite pay-per-view of the year. It is the one I look forward to, the one I love. I've loved it since I was a kid. And, I still, for so long, I've been looking forward to this. And, it had its good points and it had its bad points, but overall, it was fairly disappointing to me this year. I mean, you started out, you had the WWE Championship match between AJ Styles taking on Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn in a handicap match. And I mean, the match was nothing special. It was decent. It did its job. It got a story across. And the ending, it ended by AJ Styles getting the roll up on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens wasn't the legal man in the ring, and they still ended the match that way. So, you kind of, it kept itself open, and it, you know, kept opportunities for more storyline to go with this. So, I mean, it did its job. I'm not going to say it was great. I'm not going to say it was terrible either. It was what it should have been. Next up, you had the SmackDown Tag Championships, and it was the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. It, it was good. Like, it took forever for the first pinfall to take place, and it was finally picked up by the Usos. And it kind of, you started getting really excited, and then all of a sudden, not too much, within a couple minutes, the Usos scored the second pinfall. So it's like you get all this hype and all this excitement going on with how long it took for the first pinfall to happen and how many close calls there were for both teams and kickouts and everything like that. And then within a couple minutes, you have the second pinfall taking effect, which I I like that they didn't drag it out to three, because I mean that gets old a lot of times, because every 2 out of 3 falls match almost, it feels like they always bring it to the third fall. So I kind of like that it didn't do that, but I didn't like they brought me so high up and I was enjoying it so much, and then it's just like, okay, both pinfalls in 2 minutes or so. So I mean, it was a little disappointing, but I mean, the Usos, they retained, and I'm happy because I, like so many other people, don't give a damn about Chad Gable. He has no character at all. He's got some decent skills in the ring, but he just has no character to work with, and that's how I feel about that. Let's see, what did we have next? Next was the Royal Rumble match itself, the men's Royal Rumble match. And, I was expecting more big name returns than we got. I did predict Shinsuke Nakamura to win it, and he did in the end. But getting ahead of myself, every year you have the surprise entrance. Well, this year the surprise entrant number one was the Hurricane, and like when his music started playing, I started laughing. I kind of got that little nostalgia. Oh God, he was funny. He had some good moments back in the day, but he just didn't last and didn't really do anything worth being in there. And the next one was, I was shocked about this because this is like nothing I had even heard rumored, but Rey Mysterio came in and returned. And, a while ago he was rumored to be coming back to WWE when his contract with Lucha Underground expired, but then that kind of died off and you didn't hear anything about it. And literally a week ago or so, I heard that Impact Wrestling was trying to sign him and they were in negotiations, but I never heard anything else. and I absolutely never heard anything about WWE. So that was an amazing thing to see, is Rey Mysterio coming back. That was awesome. Gave a lot of 619s. It was great. And, he looked in the best shape of his career, damn near. So that was really cool. I started to get worried that, because figured they took the Intercontinental title off of Roman Reigns so he could win the Royal Rumble and go against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which it's probably still going to be the plan, but I thought they were going to use this to push him to win, and I was so happy when Shinsuke Nakamura threw him over the top rope to win the Rumble. It was phenomenal. I was getting worried there for a second. Like, towards the end, it started telling more of a story than the whole beginning part did. And I mean, towards the beginning, you had Baron Corbin came in and he got eliminated right away. And then he just started knocking everybody out. And so you've got all these people just laying outside the ring, not doing anything. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves I have, is I hate when they just lay outside the ring. I understand sometimes they're in for a long time and they need a breather, but it's just laying outside the ring. It's just always bugged me when superstars do that. So yeah, Shinsuke wins it. He said he is going to be challenging AJ Styles, which this has potential to be the greatest match of both of their careers, in my opinion. Shinsuke Nakamura, I never thought he could outdo his match he had with Sami Zayn at TakeOver. That was just one of my favorite matches of all time. And AJ Styles, when he was in TNA and he had that feud going on with both Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe, like, it all kind of kept intertwining together. I absolutely love that. That's some of my favorite matches of AJ Styles' career. So this just has potential to be WrestleMania history, like the greatest match ever, if they can pull it off and do it correctly. After the men's Royal Rumble, you had the Raw Tag Team title match, I think it was. And this disappointed me a lot. Jason Jordan's another one. I just figured he was going to full-blown get his heel turn done, and they were going to lose the titles, heel turn, boom. Because he's another one, he has no personality and no character to work with right now. And I couldn't really care. I cared about them a little bit as a team when they were American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, but now away from each other, I just don't care about either one of them. And the match had its decent moments in it, but towards the beginning, Seth Rollins is in there against Sheamus. Cesaro pulls Jordan off the ropes. Jordan tries to clothesline him. Cesaro ducks and pushes him into the ring barrier, or the ring post outside the ring. And he hits his forehead on there. But, he starts off, he goes, he does his trying to sell it, but he cannot even sell a move. Like, he hits his forehead like he's supposed to be, ow. But, like, he grabs at that, and then once he goes to the floor, he is holding the back of his head constantly. And then, after 5, they'll show him a few more times, and he'll still be holding the back of his head. After a couple minutes, they'll show him, like, after a 5th time, and he's, oh. And then they go back again, and he's, oh. Like, he's holding the back of his head when he hit his forehead on the pole. Like, I'm not saying I can do any better with I can't do the things they do. I cannot do the things better. But I'm sorry, if I'm supposed to pretend I got hit in the forehead, I am not going to be grabbing the back of my head constantly. So that just started to really annoy me after a while. So essentially the whole match, Seth Rollins is taking both Sheamus and Cesaro on. And I mean, it was decent for what it was. And, after God knows how long, Jason Jordan finally gets up and tags himself into the match, stands there like like he's drunk as shit, doesn't touch anyone, and then tags Seth out and then starts grabbing the back of his head again. And, it really, like I said, it just started bothering me that I understand, like, oh, I have a headache, but the whole time he's grabbing the back of his head, and like one little moment he was grabbing the front where he got hurt at, and it just started to annoy me. Like I said, the match part was okay with Seth Rollins essentially taking on the bar in 2-on-1. And, it just started to annoy me though with how Jason Jordan was acting and not selling right. He didn't sell it well at all. And, the bar ended up winning it, new champions. Let's see. Next up, we had the Universal title match. And like every other Brock Lesnar match, it's short and destructive. Uh, I predicted Brock was going to lose the title when I saw that Roman Reigns didn't win. But, I was proved wrong. Brock Lesnar retained. It was a very short match, and it involved a whole lot of putting each other through tables. I love people going through tables. Literally all three of the announce tables were destroyed, and a couple of folding tables under the ring. So I mean, it happened. It ended up Brock got the pinfall on Kane, and that was it. Short and sweet. Nothing worth bragging about, but nothing that took away from my enjoyment. And last but not least, we had the Women's Royal Rumble match. And you knew there was going to be a lot of old-time wrestlers coming back in to make an appearance because their active roster is not that great and not that big. They've got great wrestlers on a lot of them, but they don't have a whole lot of them. Well, you had some of the ladies such as you had Lita, you had Trish Stratus, you had Michelle McCool, Molly Holly, which I was pretty shocked about. Kelly, Jacqueline was another one I was surprised with. Vicky Guerrero even made a comeback. You had quite a few of these ladies. Like, I expected a few of them just because of the Raw 25 and them making an appearance there. But I didn't expect all of them, so that was okay. But the match itself was just very sloppy. A lot of them had issues getting them up to the top rope, and it seems like most of the eliminations were like them trying to climb up the ropes and sitting on the top turnbuckle and get knocked over that way. Another big thing I hated is Sasha Banks, who arguably might be in the best shape of any of the female wrestlers there are. Yes, she did last, I think, God, what the hell, 50 minutes maybe? She went in at number 1 and she was in the last 4. And oh, she's still there. Well, literally, she and Carmella got clotheslined, a double clothesline done to them, and they both rolled outside the ring. And they were both out there for like 10 minutes. It seems like every time Sasha got touched, she rolled out of the ring and just laid there forever and ever and ever. And, it wasn't just her, but almost everybody, they get touched, they won't go over the top rope, they would roll out of the ring or go through the second rope, and they would just stay out there for so long, it just really started to get annoying. But I think Sasha Banks was the worst with it. Like, it seemed like she spent over half of her time just laying outside the ring. And I understand sometimes you need a breather, but another thing is a lot of them did not realize that they cannot do the same stuff they do in their normal matches, then that they just can't do that stuff in a Royal Rumble when you got more people in the ring, because you don't have that space and there's more prone to injuries in there. Like, all of them, they're trying to jump off the top ropes, they're trying to give each other suplexes and stuff like that, and they're almost hitting each other and getting hurt. There was a point, I don't remember who it was, but they were going to whip Naomi across the ring, and Naomi was going for it, and they kind of had to grab her hair and turn her around, and like you could see her hair actually got yanked on to turn her around to put her back into the open turnbuckle. So I mean, a lot of them were just finishing moves. Yes, it was some of the older time ladies that, yes, they probably haven't been, they have a lot of ring rust probably. So, I mean, some of them were just kind of missing their marks, but then again, so were a lot of the current ones just missing marks and just sloppy altogether. Um, it was funny because I also called Asuka to win. And, there's the rumors that Ronda Rousey was going to be making her debut in the Rumble. And she's, no, no, no. And, you could tell she was lying about stuff. She just had that, if you watch any of these interviews, she just had that look like, I'm trying to lie, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. But then Triple H said, oh, I don't know, I never found out or heard she was going to participate in the Royal Rumble. So start believing it. But I still had that suspicion that she was going to debut, and sure enough, she did. After Asuka won, Ronda Rousey came out and essentially just kept pointing at the WrestleMania sign. So I mean, it's obviously official. Rousey is going signed with the WWE. So I mean, like I said, it had its good points. Really enjoyed seeing Rey Mysterio come back. I really enjoyed seeing Ronda Rousey debut. I enjoyed the first fall of the SmackDown Tag Title match. And, yeah, that's about it. It just was kind of whatever. Pretty disappointed. This might be one of my least favorite Royal Rumbles. If you haven't seen it yet, sorry about the spoilers, but you might not have to waste your time to check it out. Anyway, guys, I am going to be going to bed because I have to wake up in a few hours here. So we will talk to you later. Peace.